Suppose there was a magic pill that could cure you of procrastination forever, and that anyone, including you, could take it just once and completely eliminate procrastination from your life. So you'd be free of the stress that's always in the back of your mind day or night. You'd easily and naturally remove all barriers that have kept you from achieving your goals, and you'd finally become the productive, self-directed person you've always wanted to be, without using willpower, without putting pressure on yourself, and without forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. If such a pill existed, would you take it? Of course, you know and I know there's no such thing as a magic pill for procrastination or for anything. But as you're about to see, there is a method which works just as well. It's not magic at all. It's simple psychology. But for me and the hundreds of people who have tried it, it feels like magic. Because literally overnight, it transforms you from a stressed out, always behind, unproductive procrastinator into a highly capable, effective, productive person that radiates success. I'm Zach, and if you're anything like me, at this point you're probably thinking, prove it. And that's good. If you weren't a little skeptical, I'd probably consider you a little naive. If just 1 year ago someone had told me they could take away all the problems procrastination was causing in my life, I would have had my doubts too. But I'm about to do exactly that. Prove to you how easy it can be to completely rid yourself of procrastination and become more productive than you ever thought possible. So you can finally put an end to all the needless stress, take control of the direction your life is heading, and spend more time enjoying your life guilt-free. I'm going to explain how this method works in just a second. But before we go any further, I need to warn you. If procrastination is holding you back from the success you've always hoped for, but still haven't achieved, if you can't completely enjoy your free time because you always feel like you should be doing something else, if you're destroying any chance of achieving your goals by continually putting things off, do not put off watching this video. If there's one thing this year you don't procrastinate, make it watching this video all the way through to the end. Because in it lies the one key to forever ridding yourself of the self-sabotaging procrastination habit which has held you back for so long. You're going to learn the 4 root causes of procrastination. No, laziness isn't one of them. And how to instantly eliminate each one of them without stress or strain, and without becoming a workaholic who doesn't have any time to enjoy life. We both know that leaving this page thinking you'll come back later is a waste. Most people never revisit 97% of the pages they plan to come back to. And even if you do return later, I can't guarantee this video will be up for much longer, for reasons that will become obvious in a minute. There's nothing more important you could be doing right now than watching this video. So watch it now while you have the chance. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get on with it. First of all, you might be wondering, what do I mean by a cure for procrastination? I choose to use the word cure for 2 reasons. The first is, when I first discovered the method I'm about to share with you, cure was the only word that seemed to fit, because I felt like a man who'd been suddenly cured of an illness that had held me back my entire life, and was finally free to do the things I'd only imagined before. A cure means that it's gone. It means that your desire to procrastinate has completely dropped away. Until your desire to procrastinate disappears, the best you can hope for is procrastination management, which is about finding ways to pressure yourself into getting things done. But when your desire to procrastinate is gone, you know you'll never again have to experience the needless guilt, frustration, and stress procrastination brings into your life. And you can continue to be the type of productive, effective person that makes things happen, as long as you like. How can I be so sure? Well, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trained psychologist. I don't have a degree in organizational management, or any degree for that matter. And I'm definitely not one of those naturally organized time management gurus. Far from it. Like most creative people, organization is still not my strong suit. I'm just a regular guy who used to be the worst procrastinator you're ever likely to meet, and who was lucky enough to stumble on a method that completely freed me of the procrastination habit that had plagued me my entire life, and has since used this method to help hundreds of people do the same thing. I need to let you in on a little secret. Procrastination isn't about discipline, willpower, or laziness. You have reasons for procrastinating that you're probably not even aware of. And because these causes are under your control, you can easily stop procrastinating whenever you want. You just need to know what these causes are and the easy method for removing them. Which leads me to the second reason I use the word cure, which is that procrastination is just like an illness. It's a disease of the mind that keeps you from doing those things you know will make you happy. How many of your dreams have gone unrealized because you didn't take action on an opportunity? How many projects are sitting there half-finished because you weren't able to follow through? How much wear and tear have you put on your body due to the needless stress procrastination has caused you? Just imagine what would be possible if, starting today, you actually did follow through on your big ideas. What would you do with your life if you no longer resisted getting started and found it easy to follow through? What business would you start? What book would you write? How would you make your mark on the world? By the time you've finished watching this video, that will be the only question you need to answer. Because it'll no longer be a question of if you can do it, just a question of what it is that you want to do. Because right now, the biggest thing holding you back from the success you want, from making an impact on the world, from being a thought leader, from starting a business or taking your business to the next level, is the failure to take action and follow through. Because as any successful person will tell you, it's not about talent, it's not about intelligence, it's not about who you know. Success is about what you do, not what you're born with. Sure, some things come a little easier to some people than others, but as Will Smith said, greatness exists in all of us. That includes you. The reason why most people never achieve greatness is that they don't, or rather they can't, get themselves to take action and follow through. And I'm about to show you exactly how to remove the barriers that stop you from taking that action, to bring you unfathomable success, true freedom, and deep satisfaction in your life if you want it. I'm going to tell you exactly what these barriers are in a few minutes. There are just 4 of them. But first I need to make something very clear. Because since I'm quoting Will Smith, I don't want you to get the wrong idea of what this video is about. It's not about pumping you up and inspiring you. Getting fired up by words of inspiration might give you a temporary boost, but sooner or later, usually sooner, the emotional lift you get from somebody else's words wears off. Pretty soon, those words fail to push your motivation buttons at all, and you relapse back to your old ways, leaving you even more discouraged than before. This is what motivation gurus count on, so you have to keep coming back to them for your hit of inspiration. It's good for their bank accounts, just not so good for you. This video is also not about scaring you into action by detailing all the reasons you shouldn't procrastinate. I'm not going to give you a lecture on all the ways procrastination is hurting you. If that's all there was to ridding you of procrastination, you'd already be free and you wouldn't need my help. You already know that procrastination keeps you from fully enjoying your free time, causes you waves of stress which negatively affect your health, frustrates you that your status and station in life don't match what you're capable of, and ultimately keeps you from getting what you want in life. You already know all those things, but still you procrastinate. Why? It's not because you're stupid or lazy or a glutton for punishment, although if you're anything like me, you've been called all those things. It's because knowing what you should do is a logical reason for not procrastinating. And procrastination isn't logical. It's emotional. Why else would you act against your own best interest? Logical reasons why you shouldn't procrastinate are useless. Unless you remove the emotional causes of procrastination, you'll never be free of it. And you'll continue year after year to constantly fight with yourself over those things you want to do and those things you feel you should do. Being free of this internal conflict is one of the greatest benefits of leaving procrastination behind. It frees up reserves of energy you never knew you had, since you're no longer relying on willpower to push you through, which is exhausting. It's like this. Imagine you were out for a walk and you suddenly felt the pain of sharp pebbles in your shoes. Would you force yourself to keep walking and muscle through the pain? Of course not. No matter how much you grit your teeth and tried to muscle through, you'd never be able to enjoy walking because of the discomfort it caused you. In fact, if you forced yourself to walk around like this every day, you come to associate walking with pain. If you had any common sense, you'd simply remove the pebbles and enjoy a comfortable stroll. You'd have no need to force yourself because what was causing your resistance would be gone. Only a crazy person would grit his teeth and try to push through the pain. But this is exactly what advocates of the willpower method are suggesting you do. They're telling you to force yourself through your resistance rather than removing the causes of that resistance. If you simply remove the causes, there's nothing left to resist, and getting things done becomes easy and natural. This is how my method works. It removes the causes of your resistance to getting things done. It takes away the emotional reasons you hesitate to get started and avoid following through. So your desire to procrastinate simply falls away like a snake's old dead skin. And that's when something seemingly magical happens. Have you ever been working away on something and spontaneously experienced a sense of deep joy, satisfaction, excitement, and fulfillment? Think back to the last time you experienced this. It's a feeling of tremendous power, as if you can do anything, that comes from doing something you're good at. It's the satisfaction of seeing clear results of your effort, the excited anticipation of knowing you're getting close to success. You're so into what you're doing, you lose your sense of time, and hours pass in what feels like minutes. And there's nothing else you'd rather be doing. That feeling is something researchers at the University of Indiana call blissful productivity. Blissful productivity is the feeling of doing things you're good at, seeing rapid results, knowing that you're improving, and having control over your future. It's a feeling we're wired to crave. In fact, many psychologists have noted that experiencing it often is one of the key ingredients of a happy life, because it enhances those feelings of purpose, capability, accomplishment, and control over your life that are so vital for your overall happiness. This feeling of blissful productivity is how highly productive, successful people feel almost every time they work. When you get rid of those things that cause you resistance, you enter into blissful productivity easily and naturally. So even though you don't have to work more than a couple of hours a day, once you get started, you may actually want to keep going. It's entirely up to you. This is the secret that the world's most productive and successful entrepreneurs know. That when you experience blissful productivity every day, work becomes its own reward, and it doesn't feel like work at all. Not only that, but when you're enjoying work in this way, you're more creative, more productive, and more likely to be successful. Because other people who are begrudgingly putting their time in just can't compete. What if you felt like this every time you sat down to work? You'd have absolutely no resistance to getting things done. Your urge to procrastinate would evaporate like a drop of water in the desert. And you wouldn't have to choose between long-term gains and short-term rewards because they'd be one and the same. If you want to completely eliminate procrastination from your life and experience this kind of productivity on rocket fuel, you just need to follow this simple 3-step system I call the Find Your Focus system. Step 1. Make a clean break from those things that don't work. Force, self-blame, and motivation through punishment just make work more unpleasant. If every time you think about work you feel bad, you're going to want to avoid it. So give yourself a break and recognize that procrastination isn't a character flaw, but a natural desire you can easily redirect. Step 2. Identify which of the 4 causes is affecting you. There are just 4 causes of procrastination. Identify which ones are causing your resistance, otherwise you'll never be permanently free of procrastination's hold on you. Step 3. Follow the simple strategies for eliminating each one of those causes. With each of the 4 causes gone, you'll wake up each morning excited about diving into your project, your brain buzzing with anticipation. In a few weeks, you'll be so accustomed to enjoying what you're doing, you'll wonder why you ever resisted getting things done in the first place. It's that simple. Stop doing what doesn't work. Identify your specific causes, use the simple strategies to eliminate those causes, and enjoy procrastination-free, blissful productivity. So what are the 4 causes of procrastination that keep you stuck in place while everyone else moves their lives forward? Here they are. See if you can recognize which ones have affected you at one time or another. Cause number 1, lack of drive. Have you ever felt so excited at the beginning of a project you literally couldn't wait to get started? You could picture in your mind's eye all the rewards this project would bring you. the wealth, the independence, the recognition from your friends, your exes, maybe even your parents. And with that excitement fueling you, you eagerly dove in. That feeling of eagerness and excited anticipation that propelled you forward is what I call drive. Far more than mere motivation, drive is an impulse emerging from an area deep inside your brain that lights up your reward and pleasure centers and compels you into action. When your drive circuitry is activated, you naturally want to work on your project. Most people set up their work in a way that drain those feelings of drive rather than fueling them. But there's a way to keep this drive circuitry active every moment you're working. So rather than working in a way that depletes your motivation like most people do, you actually feel more inspired and more driven as you go along. Cause number 2, lack of focus. Intense focus drives your projects forward like a bullet train, so you can accomplish in hours what takes most people weeks. When I found my focus, I was amazed at how much I could get done in very short periods of time, and at how quickly time seemed to pass while I worked. An incredible amount of mental momentum is lost each time you're distracted from what you're doing. And each time you lose your focus, it takes extra time and extra effort to get it back. One of the biggest reasons people procrastinate is the effort it takes to shift mental gears and sustain their focus. Trying to force your attention somewhere it doesn't want to go is frustrating and exhausting and leaves you wanting nothing more than to take a nap. But here's the kicker. Trying to force yourself to focus doesn't work. In fact, trying to focus makes it even harder, since your brain is focused on trying to focus rather than on what you're doing. But there's an easy solution. Your brain's attention system is naturally attracted to certain environmental cues. These cues pull your attention so you don't need effort to concentrate. When you embed these cues in your work, it tricks your brain into automatically focusing on what you're doing. So you don't need to force your focus at all, and you can enter into a state of deep focus at will the moment you sit down to work. Cause number 3, indecision. There's no doubt about it. Successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and other highly productive people are excellent at making quick, effective decisions. The sense of forward movement in your work and in your life is absolutely crucial for experiencing the pleasure of blissful productivity. Indecision brings your progress to a grinding halt and makes work frustrating and exhausting. Without a sense of progress, primal parts of your brain think that you're wasting your time and energy and send you powerful emotional signals to stop. And the longer you put off making a decision, the more you want to avoid it. The key is to move past these mental stalemates as quickly as possible and restore the sense of progress and momentum in your work that's so important. Eliminating indecision is like removing a logjam so the river of your productivity can flow freely forward. The Find Your Focus system has a number of tools to cut through indecision and move your projects forward at a pace that makes them naturally exciting. Cause number 4, anxiety and overwhelm. Have you ever avoided getting started because you had too much to do? Do you feel anxious about facing certain tasks even though you rationally know once you get started it won't be that bad? Have you ever avoided a small task for so long it turned into a mental monster you were more and more afraid to face? What if you could completely eliminate those feelings of anxiety and overwhelm that keep you in avoidance mode? All you have to do is break the anxiety avoidance cycle by cutting off your fears at the source, so you no longer get waves of stress from thinking about all you have to do. Those 4 causes again are lack of drive, lack of focus, indecision, and anxiety and overwhelm. Once I stopped looking for ways to pressure myself into getting things done, and instead focused on removing these causes, I found a pleasure in life I never knew was possible. And now, I no longer feel the guilt I used to feel at not living up to my potential. My personal relationships have improved since I'm no longer moody and defensive all the time. And most importantly, I no longer experience the self-loathing and helplessness I used to feel every time I'd put something off. Instead, I wake up every morning filled with optimism as I actually look forward to getting down to work. I do a few hours of enriching, satisfying work, get a ton accomplished, and I'm free to take the rest of the day off, completely satisfied with what I've done. I can't believe how much more optimistic, energetic, and just plain happy I am now. Imagine the sense of liberation you'd feel if you were wrongfully imprisoned for 20 years and were suddenly set free. to go places you'd previously only been able to imagine. That's how I felt the day I finally escaped from the procrastination prison. I've never felt such a sense of elation in my life. The sense that anything's possible hasn't lessened over time. And because I've rid myself of procrastination at the source, I know I'll never again be that person who struggles to make things happen in his life. Now, it's one thing for the system to have worked for me, but I taught it to a few friends who'd been struggling with procrastination just to see what would happen. And to my surprise, their results were even better than mine. For example, the day after I taught him the system, my friend Scott, a recently self-employed computer programmer, sent me this text. "Thanks, Zach. I've been more productive in the last hour than I have all year. I started coaching people one-on-one in person and over the phone, where I refined and perfected the system. And the results people got were nothing short of astounding. One woman was so thrilled with how her husband had changed, she wrote me to say, 'Seriously, Ryan, my husband, is the biggest time-wasting procrastinator you'll ever meet. So if it works for him, it can work for anyone.' Another client wrote in, 'The most amazing thing about your system is it actually works. Thanks again.' That's when I knew it was time to share my discovery with as many people as possible, so no one would have to go through the shame, the self-loathing, and the hopelessness I'd experienced for most of my life. And everyone would have the opportunity to experience the intense joy of blissful productivity, and have the chance to achieve the life they've always wanted. Maybe you want to start a business or write a book. Maybe you want to be free of the stress, guilt, and self-hatred that procrastination inflicts on you daily. Or maybe you're just frustrated that you're not living up to your potential. Whatever problems procrastination is causing in your life, the Find Your Focus system instantly frees you from the source of those problems, so you have choice in your life and control over your future, and you no longer have to let procrastination control you. I took the same exact system that's cured me and hundreds of people of procrastination and laid it all out in an easy-to-follow, step-by-step home study program. I call it the Find Your Focus Home Study Course, and I want to invite you to join me for it. It starts with a series of videos in a secure members area you can go through at your own pace, right on your computer's browser, on your tablet, or your smartphone. It also includes an audio version so you can listen on your iPod, at the gym, or in the car to drive the information deep into your psyche. You'll also get illustrated transcripts of all the material so you can review the program in print. And knowing that many people learn best through experience, each module comes with worksheets containing practical exercises that drive the lessons home, giving you no choice but to succeed. Here's a brief sample of what you'll learn. In Module 1, Why You Procrastinate, you'll learn about the psychology of procrastination and how the way you think keeps you stuck in the procrastination trap, unable to escape. In Module 2, Drive, you'll learn the reward loop, which activates your brain's pleasure centers and fires up your drive every time you work. Why the way you set your goals makes all the difference between feeling eager and feeling discouraged, and the 4 crucial goal-setting mistakes most people don't realize they're making that doom them to failure before they even start. And the 30-second 2 doors technique you can do anytime and any place, which flips your drive switch, so you approach work, exercise, or anything you want with an unshakable sense of eagerness and optimism. In Module 3, Distraction and Focus, you'll learn the focus magnet technique, which embeds focus triggers in your work and hooks your attention into whatever you're doing without you having to try to concentrate. You'll learn how to create focus associations, which condition your brain to instantly and automatically enter a state of deep focus quickly and easily every time you sit down to work. And you'll learn why email and social networking sites are so good at stealing your attention, even when you know it's making you unhappy, and the simple reverse magnet technique for releasing yourself from their pull once you've started. In Module 4, Indecision, you'll discover the 5 ways to eliminate the self-doubt that's holding you back from making good decisions and finishing or even starting the task that will propel you to new heights of success. The mental trick for knowing when good enough is good enough and releasing perfectionism's smothering hold on your progress without sacrificing the quality of your work. You'll learn how to develop the ready, fire, aim mindset, which sets successful entrepreneurs apart from the struggling masses whose over-planning makes them miss the very opportunities that would have made them successful. In Module 5, Anxiety and Overwhelm, I show you how to break the anxiety avoidance spiral by cutting off your fears at the source so you no longer get waves of stress just from thinking about all you have to do. I show you a quick mental exercise for obliterating the fear of failure which clouds your judgment and makes you hesitate just when you should be moving forward. And I show you why the order you do things in makes all the difference in how much you put things off, and the one big mistake most people make when prioritizing that keeps them in a near constant state of anxiety. By the time you're finished the program, you'll have everything you need to leave procrastination behind for good. You'll be a productivity samurai, knocking out one task after another, like a master swordsman dispensing with his enemies left and right. All temptation to procrastinate will be gone without a trace, and you'll naturally look forward to getting things done every day. And you'll stop missing opportunities and wasting the chances that life gives you. So right now, you're probably asking yourself, is this program for me? Quite frankly, I don't know. That's something only you can decide. But if the hundreds of people who've gone through this program before you and have found it easy and enjoyable to rid themselves of their procrastination habit are any indication, then there's a good chance this program's exactly what you need to stop procrastinating. But you should know that this program is not for everyone. Since I started teaching this method, I found there are certain types of people this program generally isn't a good fit for. Even though this program can help literally anyone end procrastination and double or triple their productivity, I don't recommend you invest in it if you're 1. Someone who's already self-directed. If you're naturally driven, focused, decisive, and calm, if you wake up every morning excited to get to your projects and experience blissful productivity every time you sit down to work, and end every day satisfied with all you've achieved so you can completely enjoy your free time, then this program is probably not for you. 2. Someone who's totally happy working for someone else for the rest of your life. I never liked working for other people. I hated being told what to do and when and where and how to do it. But some people seem totally okay with showing up every day, punching in, and doing someone else's work. And that's okay. The world needs people like that. Now, I'm not saying you need to quit your day job tomorrow, but if you have absolutely no interest in being independent or even having your own project on the side, then this program probably isn't for you. 3. Someone who's attached to doing things your way. Let's face it, some people are just attached to their way of doing things. They have a hard time accepting that it's probably the way they've always done things that got them where they are in the first place. Though I do my best to show you how and why everything works the way it does, you'll never believe that it works 100% until you experience the changes for yourself. And to do that, you're going to have to temporarily set aside your usual way and try some things you've never tried before. If you're not willing or not able to do that, then this program probably isn't for you. On the other hand, if you've struggled with procrastination now or in the past, if you're ready to be the kind of self-directed, productive action taker others look up to, and if you're willing to take a chance and try some things you've never tried before, then I strongly recommend that you give this program a try. Because there's no better way to rid yourself of the procrastination that's been holding you back from success and causing you unnecessary pain for so long. So now you probably want to know, what's this program going to cost? I'm going to tell you in just a second, but first I want to ask you a more important question. What is the value of a program like this to you? The system you'll learn in this program will allow you to get things done in a fraction of the time they used to. How much more money would you make if you could finish in weeks what used to take you months? How much is it worth to you to finally write that book or set up that business that makes you money while you sleep? From a financial perspective alone, this program could save you thousands of dollars you would have lost continuing to put things off. That's not to mention what it's worth to finally enjoy your free time, be free of the stress that's constantly gnawing away at you, walk around every day with the confidence that you're one of those people who makes things happen. Back when I was struggling with procrastination, I would have given anything to have this problem solved. If I was offering this as a live group program, I'd probably charge about $2,000. I've seen time management programs go for up to $5,000. But what I have to share is so valuable, I didn't want the cost of this program to exclude some of the people who need it the most. And you might need this program first before you'll be in a place where investing that kind of money in yourself is something you don't even have to think about. So I decided to make it available for a ridiculously low price. Just enough for my time, the expenses of creating it, and to help me pay a few bills. So you're not going to pay the $2,000 it would cost you to learn this in a live seminar. You're not even going to pay $1,750 or $1,500 or even $1,250. Because I'm able to offer this program as an online home study course, you're going to get the entire program, the videos, the audio, the worksheets, and everything for just $97. For an investment that will pay itself back many times over, likely in a matter of weeks. Just hit the big Add to Cart button below and free yourself of procrastination forever. You'll finally break down those barriers that have been holding you back for years, and you'll be well on your way to the wealth, freedom, and satisfaction that self-directed action takers enjoy every single day. As soon as you register, you'll be prompted to create your username and password, and you'll be taken to the members area where you can get started right away. Your privacy is 100% guaranteed, and your personal information is fully protected using secure SSL encryption. Oh, and by the way, if you're still on the fence about whether or not this is something you want to invest in, I found a way for you to test drive the program risk-free. In a perfect world, nobody should get paid unless they deliver every bit of the value you expect from them. And if you want to make the world a better place, I believe in starting with yourself. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and give you a guarantee that puts 100% of the risk squarely on my shoulders. Try Find Your Focus today. Watch the videos, check out the notes, and go through the worksheets. If at any time within 60 days you feel like it's not for you, simply send me an email at support@findyourfocus.com and you'll get a fast and courteous refund. No questions asked. Check out the entire product, and if for whatever reason the program's not for you, just shoot me a quick email and I'll refund all your money in a flash. I believe in treating people the way I like to be treated. And if you're not getting many times the value I've promised, I don't deserve your money. And quite frankly, I don't want it. I'm taking this risk because I've seen firsthand what this program can do for people. And I don't want anything standing in the way of you having access to it. All you have to do is hit the big Add to Cart button below and get started. You literally have nothing to lose. If you're still watching this video, that tells me 3 things about you. 1. You know procrastination is holding you back and keeping you from the success you deserve. 2. Whatever you've been doing to overcome procrastination isn't working. And 3. You're interested enough to have invested the last 30 minutes of your time watching this video. So what are you waiting for? The way I see it, you have 3 choices. 1. You can do nothing. Keep doing what you've always done and keep getting the results you've always gotten. 2. You can try to figure this all out on your own. Hey, if I did it, maybe you can too. But I should warn you, it took me many months of trial and error and thousands of dollars in research to figure all of this stuff out. Or 3, you can let me help you and take advantage of the experience of someone who's been where you are and found a way through. I've been there. I've tried all the usual approaches, and I was lucky enough to stumble upon a solution that actually works. To not take advantage of that is like refusing the antidote to a poison and hoping you'll discover one yourself. So let me solve this problem for you. Hit the button below right now and set down the heavy burden of stress, guilt, and self-loathing you've been carrying around. Let me ask you this. What'll it cost you to not take action on this right now? Do you want to continue to struggle with methods that don't work? Do you want to put off creating the business, writing the book, and accomplishing the goals that will give you both financial freedom and the ability to leave your mark on the world? Do you want to look back at the end of your life and wonder what you might have accomplished if you'd only taken action? Or do you want to take control of the direction your life takes right now? If you've had difficulty taking action in the past, prove to me, but more importantly, prove to yourself right now that you can do this. Take action this one time and let me remove all the resistance you have to taking positive action in the future. With my absolute 100% guarantee, you can't lose. If you put this off, you'll just be repeating the cycle of procrastination that's kept you from the kind of life you really want. Because to be blunt, if you procrastinate even getting this part of your life handled, then perhaps no one can help you. But hey, if that gives you the excuse not to succeed that you need, who am I to take that away from you? All right, you know what to do. Hit the big button below to get started. I'll see you inside the members area. The choice is yours. By the way, before I experienced the shift that rid me of procrastination for good, I'd never experienced what it was like to be truly free. The only time I'd experienced anything similar was as a boy on the last day of school before summer holidays, when there were no more tests, no more assignments to hand in, No more itch in the back of my mind telling me there was something else I had to do. Just a seemingly endless string of carefree summer days ahead. Do you remember that feeling? How excited you were? How it felt to finally be free of the nagging feeling that there was some deadline looming you wish you could avoid? That's how I feel every day. And that's how you can feel too, if you let me help you. If you're even considering taking me up on this offer, I want you to remember, you don't need willpower. You don't need discipline. You don't even need to believe that it works. You just need to make a positive decision that you want to free yourself from the straitjacket of procrastination and have the willingness to at least try a system that's been proven to work again and again. I'm taking all the risks, so you literally have nothing to lose. Just hit the Add to Cart button below and find out for yourself. I'll see you in the members area.